Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Monomyth. Now, I left off the last episode here in the hope that the upcoming hotfix would be deployed, and it has not yet, so I'm not expecting to see all the women who are supposed to be in the game once the hotfix is applied and they're allowed to come out of their homes. Now they're all in hiding, and Prince Perrin is feeling a little bit like Georgie Porgy from the nursery rhyme. Then again, doesn't that mean he should run away and hide as well? Anyway, we've come back here with an inventory full of assorted stuff to get rid of, and it's probably going to take a couple of trips. However, the main problem we have is that I can't remember which one of these is our forging hammer. I believe it's this one, or this one. Anyway, I'm going to need to get some space. So what I'm going to do first then is this. I will fill a blue flask, then wash a bandage. I will not fill a blue flask. Then I'll wash a bandage while the fountain recharges. Alright. I will head round in this direction then. I'm heading for the magic shop to sell off the silver candlestick because it's taking up quite a lot of space. And then, once we've done all this, we can return to our brand new flaming area and the horrific puzzle trap that we encountered.
You gotta do everything yourself these days. Do not touch me. I am of noble birth.
Everything, apparently.
I'll see what you have.
And then... then we are good.
Feel free to come again. Maybe bring something valuable next time.
Charming. So, yeah. Here we go. My head has been recently filled with thoughts about trying to organise the irregular slots on the channel so that episodes become a bit more predictable and you guys know when to turn up for which games. Obviously, we have Gamebook Monday, we have Lone Wolf Wednesday, but there are other games on the channel that are less regular in their time slot. And it's probably worth noting that viewing figures are generally lower at the weekend on YouTube. Can I... well, we can pop that in there for starters. If it's not one of these, if it's this one, which would make a lot of sense, because those would be two tuber frees. Let's take this one up the forge. Oh, there's a problem with that. Of course there's a problem with that. Ah, no, here we go. So what do we got? We've got, obviously, of ash and steel, 0 parades for dead spies. But there are other things as well. There's Monomyth, obviously, right? And then there's the Gothic remake coming up soon. And I'd like to revisit a few of the other games on the channel. Obviously, there's a bit of a backlog. Can't do everything at once.
What's that? What do you want? You better have something good.
But I would like to return to Norse and
Fine. I've
Swordhaven, and maybe something else as well. Looks like I can get it 1 or 2 more in there on this visit. So let's do precisely that. You know, I should... Well, I can come back and sell this to the merchant on the other side as well. That's great. What else could be repaired? Oh, okay, interesting. And we can't repair hand and foot or head armor yet, which is strange. Probably should have just done one. Although, ooh. Now, something I have been enjoying recently, as in the last couple of days, is a relatively new game called Blade Song, in which we play a blacksmith, well, a swordsmith, and learn how to make swords and sell them to our customers and run the shop and so on. There is more to it than that. However, there is a little issue in that...
What's that? What do you want? You better have something good.
The game is currently incomplete. There's a narrative story that can be played, a narrative campaign. There we go. So we can knock in 1 more of these. What do we got back here? Oh, all these things. Excellent. Yeah.
Fine. I've seen enough anyway.
And I believe it's probably something like 5 chapters long, and they've just released the 2nd chapter of the campaign. Now, there is a skill tree which you master as you work. I'm still on chapter 1 of the campaign. I got through the tutorial or prologue and into chapter 1, and I'm already halfway up the skill tree. I think they would need to either expand the skill tree significantly or do something to pad it out for the length of the whole narrative campaign. That aside, it's interesting and fun. The clients are a bit unoriginal in their demands, because they obviously give you the requirements for the blade they want you to work on.
What's that? What do you want?
And sometimes there are hidden requirements. We could get the helmet, but we're heavily overburdened already, and our armor isn't necessarily doing that much for us just yet.
I've seen enough anyway.
I'm not that certain it would make for interesting viewing for you lot. Not necessarily for any of the reasons you might imagine. Let's pop this. Oh, wait a minute. No, we'll go to the back. They like to have big, long fade to blacks when you go to a new location, such as a supplier to purchase leather or wood or metal. And those fade to blacks feel a little bit long and forced. Then they will load up the background art for the area, which is very pretty, and they will pan across it for what feels like 2 or 3 seconds before finally letting the text come in. Which is nice, but rather plodding in terms of pace. That is healthy bread, not mouldy bread. Excellent. I will step out of the keep and return to refresh the shops, and then I will part with more of these things that are filling up my pack. So at the moment, well, it's Monday night, you'll be seeing this video Tuesday or any time later that you choose to watch it, really, I suppose. So we'll have Monomyth Tuesday, Lone Wolf Wednesday. Thursday will be Zero Parades for Lost Spies, will be on Thursday or Friday. With Of Ash and Steel being on the other one of those 2 days. Probably Of Ash and Steel Thursday, Zero Parades for Lost Spies Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday, Monday will be the Gothic 1 remake, which means Tuesday would be Cretan Chronicles, back to Lone Wolf on Wednesday, then Thursday would probably be Zero Parades for Lost Spies, then Friday would be Whatever I Want, and then over the weekend we'd settle down and things would become more regular. Let's have a little fix.
What is it? Damn wastelanders.
14 charges so much.
Make it quick.
Well, we don't... Really? Okay. So he only repairs what we are currently wearing and seems to charge the same regardless of what condition it's in. Oh, great. Why a spare buckler? Okay.
Fine. I've seen enough anyway.
Well, we don't need to mend anything now. So let's just pop this back in there. We actually do. Now, generally, and this is a massive overgeneralization, for some reason, viewing figures are lower at the weekend on YouTube. And that, you know, you'd think it would be people at home, away from work, feeling bored, and be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's watch some YouTube. But actually, no, they seem to go, oh, hey, we've got a life, we've got things to do now. Which implies they're watching it at work on their lunch break or something, you know, when they probably shouldn't be. In which case, I appreciate the dedication, but guys, you might have something else you should be paying attention to. If you're watching at your lunch break on your own device, great. If you're watching during your lunch break at work on a work computer or something, then ooh, naughty, naughty. So, Of Ash and Steel has been doing very well on the channel, so it will probably be on Saturdays and Sundays. The other thing about the list is obviously we will want to I would like to get more than one episode a week of some games in, just to make some actual progress so I'm not crawling along. So, of the various games that are being played, it might be that there's one day a week where I get to play whichever one I want or something. And of course, if things are a bit intense, I might just go, hey, I want to play 2 or 3 episodes of this in a row. But overall, I'd like to try and get a slightly more formal structure on the channel, so that, you know, you guys know when to expect things. And speaking of expectation, we're going to have that whole trap situation to deal with. Not looking forwards to that. I think we will have to assume that north is at the top and we are approaching from the south, but I will look at it again when the time comes. For now, though...
What is it now? I have important matters to attend to.
Look, I need to get rid of this. I'm pretty sure I know these, apart from maybe... a spell book and a crystal ball. Slightly improve the Spellweaver's arcane capabilities, but it's divine magic skill. I think it acts as a spell book.
I do what I can. I just wish I could get more out of our deals.
There have been reports of the crystal ball regenerating magical energy while in hand, but we also know that you can regenerate magical energy with 10 points or more in the same magic skill. And that actually seems to be the only thing magic skills currently do in the game. It might be nice if some of the spells had a minimum magical skill level as well as a minimum intelligence level to cast, just so that the magical skills do something a little bit more. Or that the magical skills could affect the results of the spells slightly, not necessarily massively. It would also be nice to know what on earth shields actually do. Oh, I've come too far, haven't I? I have indeed. For instance, is it based on the size of the shield? Because shields don't seem to use a skill. That is... they use the swords and axes skill, which feels very arbitrary. And they seem to have weapon stats as opposed to any kind of protective ability. Well, I'm not sure if they completely block all damage, or just a portion of it. A fraction or fragment thereof. And I'm going to do one more quick pass. It will also be nice to see when the jeweller's shop opens and the jewellery crafting abilities open up. But obviously I am painfully aware that you will want to see me jumping on the nasty trap and getting blown up by lightning all the time. And I will not disappoint, but I could have done this off camera, I know. I could just have stashed things in that chest outside as well. And again, we're running into the issue of incredibly high strength requirements for our equipment, and the fact that the weight load that we can bear is based purely on strength alone and no other ability score whatsoever. sell that. And pop this in there. Better. Would be nice to get rid of these, but I really don't want to bore you guys too much.
Come back with something worth trading.
Yeah, alright. So obviously, while we want to improve our burdens, our ability to bear this burden, we are very short on vitality and endurance, which also need improving. I don't think we'll need to work on intelligence anymore, although it may be worth improving our focus at some point. Essentially, we do feel quite starved for ability points. We don't feel that starved for skill points. They've been coming in at a good, steady level. So I'm feeling it may just be the requirements that need a little bit of a tweak. Also, we are fairly heavily loaded out, so we should be expected to work on warrior type abilities. That being said though, if we just focus purely on strength over the next few levels, we're going to be pretty fragile and crumble when we actually start getting hit, which is not ideal. Then again, the health stat only gives us 10 health each time, so it feels like maybe the stamina stat should contribute towards our carry load instead of it being all on strength alone, because we are being made single ability score dependent to a disgusting level. Sad, not mad, as it were. Yeah, that's tabletop jargon from a few years back. Single ability score dependent or multi ability score dependent, depending on how many ability scores a character needs to do their thing, or if they can try and make it all on the one stat, essentially. Here we go. We're getting there now, okay? We are well on the way towards our objective, but it might take a little while. Oh, we can actually go back this way. It's slightly quicker. Is it? Maybe. So as you can see, our stamina goes down fairly quickly. And I hear someone hammering away or mining, so there may be another zombie around. That I have somehow failed to meet. So I have a nasty feeling we might just want to pump strength again next level, at which point it will be at least 2 points ahead of any other physical ability. This game really doesn't like you trying to create a tough character, because the equipment requirements are just forcing you to focus on a damage type stat instead. We are very close now. And we've opened the gates in both directions. So we can head out this doorway over here. Now, I'm not forgetting that in that area over there we have another jumping section. But I don't want to waste another hag's foot just yet. Harpy's foot, is it? I believe we have to go up, actually. Oh. Maybe not, actually. Okay, we will find the way. It's just going to take us a little while, as we are fairly new to this area. In which case, it's probably this one. Yes, it is. So, at this moment in time, we have our checked floor. We've got a chest over there we would like to get to, a lever over there, and a lever on this wall over here, I believe, as well. Let us save the game. So, we can go 2 forwards, 1 diagonal, then we've got a weird diagonal jump. Let's try. And then we want to get onto those 2 white ones. Not there, not any of these, but there. Yeah, joy. Obviously, other routes would be preferable now. Okay. Aha! Chain lightning. Excellent. A new spell that we can almost definitely not use yet. Now, however, we're on the middle one of these, so we can almost get to that door, but we need to... Wait. Is it over there? Yes. So we can hop to that one, or go diagonally this way. No, we can't. Okay. All right. And then we're wanting to get on that one over there. This is going relatively well. Ow. Let's just back out of the room. And then eat some bread. Because apparently that makes lightning feel all better. And while we're doing this, we can study the form. Okay, that's not going to happen. We go in there, 1, 2, that's not going to happen really either. So we could leap across to there and then try the diagonals. Right. We'll have some more bread because it's clearing up space. So now we are here, we go 2 that way. There we go. Two, 1 back, 2 to the wall. Oh, and then we pull it from there. Okay. So 2 this way, 1 to there, 2 to there, 1 to here. Ooh. Right. Okay. I think this warrants more bread. And we will operate this lever, which presumably opens that door. Then we will hop back to here. Then it's 2, 1. We can probably get to that door quite easily, but we also want to open the other lever. So, 2 and go 3. 1. I think we can just pull it from there. Oh, no. Okay, well let's take our 2 this way. Then diagonal for the door. One, 2, 3. Well, that's not going to get us to that lever there. So that's going to be those 2. We're going to need that way. So which of these... Well, that's a safer place. So let's go like that. Yep. Forgot to jump. Oh! Okay. Well, we'll eat a little bread then. Maybe that lever... Oh no, then we just loop back. So, that lever could open this portcullis, although that lever behind it seems to, so maybe we do have to go that way after all. So... we can walk out 1, and then it's 2, 1, zigzag zig. So we can walk to here. Two. 1. Zigzag zig, yeah. So we can just do that from here. I don't like that. Right. Because I can't see from here if it's opened. It looks like it has. So, we're standing here. Now, we're not getting over there easily. So, back to... Oh, okay. Hold it. Right. And to here. Yeah, that hasn't opened at all. Oh, you what? I see. So in that case, is it straight? It is, okay. There we go. We are far from safe. But we are saving the game. I don't think we got any experience points of that either. We did not. So be it. Okay, those stepping stones are very far apart. We don't want to have to traverse those. There's a fairy ring of mushrooms. Now, we are heavily overburdened and our athletics skill is not that great. I would imagine we are using one of these and leaping across the gap. Fucking hell. Barely. This feels like a trap. I see pressure plates in front of these. I do not see where the death will come from. Oh, and to make the trap even more insulting, the chests are not both empty. Okay, get some money, make up a little bit for what we've been spending in repairs. Oh. It is entirely possible. That looks very serious. Is this the other location I could have jumped to? Let's scout it out. That's just another brick on the floor. Well, get that stamina back. Alright. We are uttering the holy chants. Because that was brutal. What's that? Just a hammer? Just a hammer. Obviously I should explore that area, but I'm wanting to check out here as well. I am not wanting to go leaping about over here. Even though this looks like absolute hell for platforming nonsense. Alright, it appears we need to insert some kind of circular or even spherical device here. I'm trying to get a side view on it. See, it does look spherical, doesn't it? Right. Presumably to make some kind of bridge rise here, and then we jump about like some absolute ninny, getting ourselves killed. So no magic mushrooms, no blue flasks. Got it. It's worth seeing how far the game will allow me to explore in this direction. Oh shit. And he drank the red potion. Damn it. Oh well. I could clearly do with one of those myself. Think I might as well go back the other way after all. Although I feel this is the direction to explore for whatever orb is missing from there. Because entering into this area, we see this, then we view this. This, however, is considerably less visible because you think, oh, it's a wall. So clearly, it's the direction I should explore and get myself killed. How's that for experience? Oh yeah, that's more like it, because we defeated the nasty water elemental. Which was just in... What a pretty pillar. Oh, is this the location? Nope, it views the same location. Clearly, that portal is a very important destination that the magicians are wanting to monitor. We have a lever, which we shall not operate just yet. Oh, that probably lowers this, and I believe we've been there before. This is indeed a location we have visited. However, yeah, I thought so. I might have completely missed this door. No, it's open. I've been in here, haven't I? It was a dead-end room with something in the chest there. Yeah. Okay, good. And I should really be filling a blue flask when I go back to the keep. Well, we have a shortcut back out of the area now. And this is locked off. Which is probably for good. Now, we don't know what either of these two levers does. I think I hear footsteps. Many more arrows for our collection. Right. I imagine this might cause the pillar to rise up out of this receptacle, but it might do nothing. We took some notes, apparently. Oh, we've turned it off. Do we turn it back on again? No, it's stuck now in the off position. I have disabled an arcane crystal, okay. Three shields powered by arcane crystals block the way inside. Well, I've disabled one, so there should be two more. Probably equally heavily guarded. And then this rises up to allow us access to this bridge. So, from there, it's over that way, right? This probably operates the same portcullis. Set us docks set up here. Hello. Knave, poltroon, trouble me not with your wickedness. That is just a stone, but it was worth checking. So we have a ladder leading down to what appears to be more horrible platforming, but we don't want to undergo. I don't see anything through the boards that gives us a very good reason to wish to descend. I am not liking this setup at all. We are not built for such athletic leaping. We shall instead ascend back up to this level, and it's probably going to be bloody required. Now, so from there was a way to leap over here. Was there a pillar? But it doesn't... Oh, God. Here we bloody go. Please open. Oh, you absolute... Ah. So we have the stepping stones leading in that direction. If I'm going to act like an idiot, I should at least... At this point, the developer's obsession with stupid platforming is really starting to piss me off. You know, I've enjoyed this game up to this point, so... Those stones go where? I can't see too well from here, unfortunately. Let us go and view the situation from another angle. That is a location we should probably visit at some point. But I am feeling the urge to return to safety and replenish our magical energy. So, that did not particularly avail us, but allows us to get to the ladder. So these stones lead back this way. So it's out there and over there. Which does appear to be... We couldn't quite see that ledge because of this vast column. However... the worst part is we are now on our last Hag's Harpy route. And what is this? This is a coin. We should take that. Excellent. So heading back out this way. That's a portcullis. So this then is not a column, but rather a rocky ledge. That way seems unavailable to us. So the way forwards is uncertain. I'm not liking the look of it. to be honest. I don't think we can purchase any more harpy roots. This should just lead us back out here. And this to here. Excellent. Oh, coin? Yes. Okay. It does appear like as if we are stuck heading in that direction. So yeah, might as well go back and trade and resupply. However, on that resupplying front, might as well add another healing potion to our stack. There we go. Is that going to be it for this episode? It feels a bit disappointing if it was. But we are needing to relieve ourselves of our burdens. It would be nice to make more progress, but I need to visit the magician's shop and see if there's anywhere we can find more harpy roots, because we're not going to be able to do anything about the one we have left. We can follow the stepping stones and the lava, but the first one looks like it's far too far away. Did I waste one in making that jump? No, I barely made the jump across the broken bridge with it. So we appear to be experiencing a supply issue. I do not remember any merchant who sells harpy roots, so we may have a really hard time. I would consider asking if any of you have any advice on this harpy root situation, and the ridiculous amount of platforming the new level appears to involve. But I imagine that most of you are experiencing this for the first time, as am I, and are just like, hey, we don't know either, pal. Even if you're playing along with me, or playing your own way. There might be some smug git down in the comments who's like, yeah, I spec heavily into magic so I can just cast the jump spell whenever I like. Well, good for you, man. Multiple build options are available for our hero. If only some are viable, and some just don't help at all, and are some kind of trap that get you killed and break the whole playthrough, then that is an issue, obviously. Some being more helpful than others to different playstyles, awesome. But if you absolutely require to focus heavily on one thing, be it magic or lockpicking, whatever the thing is, then should you really have to put points into it if you need to essentially focus on it anyway? It's like kicking. There is no kicking skill. But well, we can sell that. Okay. So there is no kicking skill, but we have the ability to kick, and may indeed frequently rely on it at times. I haven't used it that heavily in this playthrough early on, because initially it didn't seem as important. Imagine if there was a kick skill that we had to put skill points into to make the kicking good. would players feel hard done by?
What is it now? I have important matters to attend to.
And say, if I have to put points into that skill anyway, why do you even give me the points that I put into it if those points are automatically spent, essentially? What are we trying to sell here? We are trying to buy the thing he does not have. Got it. You know, some of these. Featherfall, I imagine it's going to be something like Intelligence 17.
Feel free to come again. Maybe bring something valuable next time.
Do we have it already?
Truly dreadful.
16, 20. Featherfall, 19 Intelligence. So yeah, we can't cast most of these. Okay. Meaning we are limited to our Harpy's Feet herbs. Or one of them. I'm trying to remember if that man, the fisherman down in the mine, is a trader or not. Because I'm just not certain. Before filling a flask from a fountain, I should probably fill myself. So I feel invigorated and energized and ready to hammer the dents out of this short sword that I've been attacked with. I mean, imagine if we put every point into the biology skill. I did actually experiment with that as a build, focusing heavily on the biology skill. It's a helpful, fun, interesting skill, but should you be required to invest in it? Okay, we'll pop this here. And let them heat up a little. You know, if a skill investment feels like a skill tax, players will eventually say, well, why don't you just give me less skill points and assume I'm putting points in that skill because I'm forced to do so. This argument actually came up a lot, actually, with AD&D 3rd edition players and the spellcraft skill. It's ridiculous the amount of times you'd see someone playing a cleric or druid or paladin with no ranks in knowledge religion. It's like, you're a fucking priest, how do you not know about religion? And they'd say, why should I put skill points in that? If I have to automatically put skill points in that, just give me less skill points and take away the skill, you know. Which was a silly argument, but one that feels... well, it was a silly argument, but one that feels worth utilising now to say, hey...
What's that? What do you want?
If you're going to force us to do all that bloody platforming, then why? Oh, you know, then why try to force us to invest in certain skills?
I've seen enough anyway.
Because now we're in a situation where we are once again required to do more stupid jump bollocks. I mean, that's like the third or fourth time in this new level. And it's... Look, I appreciate why, okay? You don't want to fall in the lava and die. That would be very unfortunate. But again, if we are required to play the game a certain way, why give us other options? Is this supposed to be a learning experience where we learn from our mistakes? We learn that we did not invest in a certain skill or ability and that we need it. You know, are there trap abilities and skills which exist only to teach us that we should be choosing the other skills the developer wants us to use? It's like there's 18 different ways to build a character, but only 3 of them actually work. The other 15 are there for you to play a little bit and appreciate how good the other 3 are, and start focusing rather heavily on one of those instead. I do wonder if I should be... Now this is interesting. These soldiers have all had their armor upgraded. This commanding officer has not, and has the same kind of gear these soldiers started with. I almost feel like saving here and going to check the local merchants, but no. I'll go back to the area because I'm pretty sure they don't sell any of this stuff. If there was any merchant who sold hag's feet and herbs, it would be a massive problem, because leaving and returning to an area resets a merchant's inventory. So we would be able to obtain a nearly inexhaustible supply of them, which would obviously be massively open to abuse. And people would be jumping around like Super Mario Brothers, and it wouldn't be pretty. However, the amount of leapfrogging required in this game does seem somewhat comical, and it makes us take the adventure a bit less seriously, and we think, hey, this has been pretty gritty and grim so far, and then is that an immersion breaker that takes us right out of the experience? I would argue quite possibly yes. Obviously, you know, heavy armor, well, medium armor even, is not the way to go. Playing as any kind of warrior character has issues, because you just get massively overburdened. In a way, it's a good way of limiting player mobility, but you never get the most out of your equipment. And it feels as if we are just not supposed to play this kind of character. Which may very well be the message. It's saying, hey, you're from the royal court. You might have done some fencing exercise and basic martial training, but you haven't had to wear armor every day, day in, day out, or things like that. Yeah, this stuff is heavy. You're not used to it. You practice a little bit, show off some skill, but in a practical situation where it actually matters, you're overburdened, outnumbered. You're not practicing against someone who's like a sparring partner. It's all very dangerous and nasty. Welcome to the real world, where stupid jump bollocks exists, and it's the only thing you're allowed to do effectively. Would there be some kind of courtly game of leapfrog that we have practiced overtly that leads us to believe this is the way for us now? And we think, oh ho ho ho, we're going to trivialize the danger by just jumping over it again. Now that this bridge is lowered, no, it was worth checking. Now that does look intriguing. Wait a minute. I may be getting hung up on something here. Before I begin to feel too negative about more forced platforming, I could instead say, hey, this was like a side track. Because there's this whole path over here I did not fully explore instead. And while we've gone and unlocked it looks like there might be something on there, but it could just be a trick of a light. So we came through here. Let's go back this way to where the magician almost killed us with his nasty fireball. Oh no, that was back the other way, wasn't it? Right. That sounds like there may be another water elemental nearby. Oh, thank you. That is so nice. And that is only shadows. It was worth checking. A golden ring, okay. Well, it's treasure. But most importantly of all, we have a shrine and a door. Clearly we have not leveled yet. Vitality determines health, and that's it. Endurance, stamina, and that is it. Strength, damage, breaking things, how much you can carry. I think endurance should affect carry weight as well. Just combining the two, not necessarily for a higher total, but so that you don't rely purely on the one ability score. Well, we have an autosave, but let's enjoy a manual one because that was quite good. I will go up there and explore that corridor, but this is potentially a dead-end chamber. It is not a dead-end room. There's apparently another portal here, JJCX. And I should write down some of the others. Massive rats. Noted. What? Okay. I'm going to believe that rats can't open doors. They could come around this way, but what have we learnt? I found these runes above the entrance of the portal room in that... Oh! Portal room in the mines. So, GJHX. And theoretically that will cut down on journey times a lot now. I wonder if revisiting other teleporters we've seen before will refresh this and add them, or if those entries have now been missed because we already explored those parts of the world. Does this... It leads away from the rats. However... Well, we are battering the what do you call it? Durability out of our mace. Maybe there is nothing there after all. However, all these stepping stones do make it look like we're supposed to reach some of these other locations. Alright, let's go back to the rat room. There's a joke about a rat race in there somewhere, but I can't be bothered to make it. Right. Can we... Well... Oh, look. We have battered our magical mace a bit, and it could do... Oh, it's still in very good condition. Excellent. Bill and Ted can fuck off. It's not that excellent. No. In fact, they would probably call it bogus. Alright. And we have to remember which way round the circle goes. Do we have bread? We do. Enough for precisely one. I feel this is locked. Yep. I imagine it may only open from the other side. So let's push on. And you know what? Let's appreciate that may come round. Oh no. No, no, no. What if we're not supposed to get over to here, but we're supposed to get from here to somewhere else? Again, the gaps between some of those stones do look too far for us to make without magical assistance. So there's a possible climb up here. Hello. We have potions. Oh! Gotcha, you bugger. Now, we will take your coins and possibly even just wait for this to refill. Although, we did fill our flask, so we can drink that and refill it afterwards. That jump down, then climb up may lead to somewhere around here and a way in. Oh, wrong game. Okay. 475, 14. Yes. So, not ideal. Have we looked through there to... I don't think we have yet. And his glowing eyes... From this angle, it makes his head disappear into the wall and his glowing eyes appear to be floating above his body. I can see his head now that I know what to look for. We're doing good for experience, though. Still haven't hit that 7,000 point yet. Nothing vital on this table. Now, the world does feel very bleak and devoid of interactable items. That, whatever it is, sounds really bad. It doesn't quite sound extremely heavy. But hey, we're going to fill our flask here. It doesn't sound like large metal slabs slamming down from the ceiling or something like that. It sounds like something vaguely creature-sized. Okay, well this isn't opening. And it looks almost like another teleporter. Oh. The other kind of platforming. It's swinging blades that need to be moved between. So let's avoid that first and explore this area. Those stairs look very tempting. Another forge? Oh, and a teleporter, okay. Well, hold on now. I believe I know where we are. First off, I have no desire to... Alright, that's actually quite pretty. The sections of the tower rotating in opposite directions. There is more than 3 of them. Oh, for pity's sake. More bloody platforming. And 2 fire elementals down there. And a 3rd one up here. Right, let's not deal with this just yet. This is something for future Ronald to explore. Also known as later Ron. Aha, this is accessible. However, do I see a means of opening this? I'm not trying to reach it, I'm just trying to look. I do not. Okay. I don't think we even have a map for this area yet. We do not. Alright. So, I was under the impression that this is not where I thought. I felt this was the big central hall. And with a teleporter up there, teleporter across there. That appears to not be the case. Which is quite reassuring in a way, as it gives me an impression of progress. However, all those fire elementals may be... Oh! Well, hello! There we go. This is obviously an option. Also obviously a very dangerous one, for we do not know where it leads. And it may be a one-way teleport, so let us explore the stairs. Pretty sure we've been in that room. So there's those 2. I believe there's one over there. Yep. So the swinging axe blades appear to be our way forwards. Rather painfully and predictably, unless we use that teleporter, which may teleport us exactly into the middle of the pack of flame elementals, which we don't particularly want. Why can I not hear the swinging blades? They should be back this way, right? There we go. And I imagine if we are struck by... Oh, fuck off. There's even a ledge with a chest to tempt us. You can fuck off. That's even swinging over the bloody posts. That's impossible. Or rather, it's impossible at 5:37 in the morning when I'm really not in the mood for more fucking platforming in this game. You should have advertised it as a platformer that you don't get to play, you just suffer through. Oh god. Well, we've seen it now. We don't like it. It's basically impossible. Let's make things even more depressing and frustrating, because that is probably required to progress through the fucking area. Right, how bad is this? It's a one-way teleport. Oh! It's sent us upstairs through the ceiling to this bridge. Now, I don't believe this allows us to bypass those swinging blades, but it does allow us to... I don't like these stairs going down. What do they do? These balconies theoretically conceal some of this from beneath, if we were looking up. But otherwise, they don't serve much purpose. Again, the battlements are just too high for defenders to utilise them against any sort of attacking force from below. This is for show, not for purpose. And yeah, I could maybe break a few barrels while I'm here, but I'm not going to do that just yet. That chain appears to be attached to nothing at all whatsoever. This one here. Alright. Evil wizard. Skeletons. Fire elemental. Not a good combination for us. Tent. Tent is cover. So, walkway or bridge. He is walking, I believe that was walking away. And don't get me... Okay, another tent down here. It would appear that one or two of these tents may contain something of use to us. Some kind of merchant would be appreciated, although complete... No, another rack of spikes. Although it would feel pretty odd, to be honest. More platforms. The impression is that jumping is fairly required in this area. That is stationary, it's not flickering or moving or trying to kill us, that's good. But I imagine a lot of these are not actually going anywhere. They are there to give us the impression that we need to be nimble and spry and leap about like a mountain goat. So we can go 1, 2, 3. Where from there? Theoretically down onto there with the stalagmites. And then a bit of a dead end. Ideally we'd need to stand up there. Oh, maybe to those rocks it might go somewhere, but it's not looking pretty. That's looking like a path we will only have to take as a last resort, just like those bloody swinging blades. I'm not sure we could make it up onto that rock there. Those maybe, but again, they are scattered about. They give the impression of some kind of amphibious, hot, cold-blooded leapfrog. Or we could just make a run for it. And consign ourselves to this direction. Again, not liking those swinging axe blades one little bit. It looks like he really wants us to... If we had to repair this headstone as some kind of side quest, that could be interesting. I don't think we'd literally repair it, but maybe bring over some... Oh, you... Oh, for God's sake. That telekinesis spell would be really nice, but... So, that's a no-go also. Another dead end. So once again, we're being channeled back to the fucking swinging blades of doom and death, and falling in the lava and dying and being very disappointed. Not happy. At all. I'm not enjoying this new area as much as I'd hoped. Because it's borderline unplayable. We could arguably go back and fight some fire elementals out there. If we have to fight more than one at a time, it will be very bad for us, and there are two quite close together. There may be falling damage. Let's see how bad it is. There is no falling damage. What's this? It appears to be some kind of glitch. I don't think it's some kind of magical secret door we're supposed to utilize. Oh. If I'm going to have to do this, I'm not wanting to do it tonight. Jump, 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 jump. So the problem with this is, of course, that you need to be... The problem is, you need to jump, and then turn to jump again, which takes time. And these are just very, very fast. The first one is in the gap between here and that post. The second one, above the pillar. The third one... So there's one above each pillar, and one in the gaps between each pillar. Essentially, what they want us to do is this, and it will be really bad. And, oh, we don't even need to get knocked off to die, we just need to die. Now, are our experience points in mid-air where we died, or where we leapt from? They are in mid-air where we died, just to make this even more insulting. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather go outside and fight the fucking fire elementals, because look. Oh! Hang on. There's a way out there. Not that we can make it, mind you. Because we don't have enough health. But there is a tunnel, so maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Just down there. So, one. No. We got hit by the fucking thing as well. Oh yeah, now we get the bandage used to my healing after we die. Fucking useless. Right, so. We can't heal while we're standing on lava, rather obviously, but what we can maybe do is not jump. Oh, you fucking go! Oh, you absolute cunt. That just makes it even worse. For fuck's sake. I'm really close to giving up, so I probably should give up for the night. Right. My god, that's bad. I mean, if you fall down there, you're highly unlikely to make it to that anyway. And this just looks impossible. So we shall explore another direction. Hang on. Trying to remember how I got up the other way. Oh, good idea. Really good idea. We need to live long enough to use them, but still, it's a good idea. And let's hold on a moment and explore that bad option here. Where does this go? This goes nowhere. So we could jump down on the rocks for a bit. Oh god. Maybe make it over there. Oh, fuck. Right. Oh, for fuck's sake. And maybe not, because it's fucking stupid. That's enough for the night. I need to stop, because this is pissing me off, to be honest. And I'm very tempted to go and rant angrily on the forums and be ignored, and for the developers to ignore it and keep making this fucking jumping game that he wants to make anyway. So I'm done for the night. Sorry guys, I did my best. No, let's go get killed by fire elementals as well. Let's see if I can take down one of those without antagonizing the other two. Then I think I'll be done for the night. But as it currently stands, this area is designed for one and only one playstyle that we have not been forced to adopt. Okay. Ow. Ow. Thank goodness for that. I imagine we can't get in here. I was correct. Oh, you're kidding. Well... I don't suppose we could fire an arrow and attract one of those. Not that we should particularly desire to. Ugh, that looks horrible for the return journey. That pentacle looks really bad news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which obviously relates to the 5 points of the pentacle. I mean, it's this or the fucking swinging axe blades, so... And there are ways, there are stepping stones to ascend or descend. But what do we do? It would appear that 2 of the candles are lit. The other 3 are extinguished. I don't know if extinguishing those 2 candles or lighting the other 3 will have some effect on these pillars. But I don't particularly look forward to tangling with 2 of those at once. And this... We don't want to get over there. It is a giant skull. There's some kind of giant skeleton down here in the lava which has not been completely destroyed and incinerated. If we head around this side... Oh, we come to that portcullis that can't be raised, don't we? Okay. Well, ledge down there is leading somewhere. It ends. Okay. Does this look familiar from another angle? No, is the basic answer. So I'm not liking the current state of this area at all. Even the experience points we're gaining aren't exactly making me feel cheery about it. Not sure what I'm going to call this episode yet. It may not be entirely complimentary. Oh well. I will end the episode here because clearly my mood has been soured and it's not improving. I hope you found some pleasure in this episode, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'll say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.